Hello, welcome to UAV Coach Academy. My name is Alan, and in this screencast, this kind of orientation screencast, I want to walk through the key features of our turnkey drone training curriculum. And I'd like to start with the student edition. This is what students see when they get access to UAV Coach Academy. And they're effectively getting two kind of courses. So the first course is this Part 107 certification. This is the test prep for that FAA drone licensing exam. And then if I scroll down to the bottom here, we've got flight skills. We've got 3 modules and lessons within each module around flight skills. These are lessons in things like airspace research and mission planning, how to register your drones, specific flight exercises. So with these two curriculum, not just how to pass the exam and all the helpful information around sort of being a drone pilot the FAA wants you to know, there's all the real world stuff that's not part of the exam. So we teach both. That's UAV Coach Academy. And it's all the things your students need to know to become workforce ready to fly as commercially certified, but also safe and confident and professionally aware drone pilots. So I'll go back to the test prep curriculum just to kind of walk through a few things I want to call out here. So first is a typical lesson. We've got the video at the top. We've got lesson text beneath the video, and then we've got a quiz. This quiz is ungraded. I will come back to the graded knowledge check and practice exams in a second. And then not just the answer key, but explanations as to why this is the right answer. This is super important. Students are kind of learning as they go through lesson by lesson. And I also wanted to call out, the lessons are bite-sized, right? 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes. We really try to keep this helpful for all of our very short attention spans. So I know it looks like a lot, but all these lessons are bite-sized, and you can sort of decide as an educator, okay, how much time do I have? What does it make sense for my schedule? And I'll get back to like pacing recommendations and how we work with schools as well in just a little bit. So that's what a typical lesson looks like. At the end of every module, we have key takeaways, so all the most important items and all the different lessons, and then flashcards. And I just wanted to call out the flashcards. Very easy to use. This particular module has 19 different flashcards, and these are easy to pull up, pull up in front of the class to have students work through on their own device. Just a very easy thing to sort of project in front of a classroom is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so the knowledge check at the end of every module, we have a more formal quiz exam, right? We call it a knowledge check. It's 30 questions. This particular one has 24 questions because it's a little bit smaller as far as content goes, but most of them are 30 questions administered through Google Forms. And our practice exams are also administered through Google Forms. And what's really cool, now the practice exams are a little different. You're getting timed with these. The knowledge checks are untimed. The practice exams are timed because we really try to simulate the real FAA exam. But we've got 5 different variations, 60 unique questions in each one. 300 questions that students are being exposed to here, even more throughout the knowledge checks and the course. It's about 400 total practice exams in our practice questions in our database. But anyways, I'm calling this out because as part of your onboarding, you're going to get this progress report. And this is a real-time report. So as students are going through the course and taking knowledge checks, you're able to see their scores and what time and sort of where they're at in the course. And you can get the knowledge check score and the practice test score. I don't think this spreadsheet, this particular example, they've not yet taken practice exams, but those scores are going to show up there. So just really easy for educators. All the information's in Google Forms, so we can always drill down and look at trends with particular questions, but just a high-level overview of progress and how your students are doing in the course. And we know educators need grades. Those grades are available here at any given time. So I just wanted to show you a few things on the student side. Now let me open up the teacher side. This is where the differences really start to come into play, and this is fun. So first, and you're seeing as a teacher, you're seeing everything the student sees, but first you're also getting this module called Preparing to Teach. You're getting things like curriculum overview and timeline options. Some educators we work with, they'll take this curriculum and they'll stretch it over a semester. Some, it's a full year, and there's other sort of curriculum that they're piecemealing together. Some, it's a 2-week program, it's an elective credit, it's an after-school program, summer camp. There's so many different ways to use this curriculum. So we provide some of those options and how to think about sort of pacing and hours and sort of how long each thing take. So we have, we've got different frameworks. different learning objectives for students. So when I click on learning objectives, you'll see kind of the big picture outcomes. Like these are the 9 core Part 107 test prep modules, and then the 3 flight skills modules, all the things students are going to learn, and module by module, like what are you really looking for? So and to that point, let's see, I'll just call out a few other things since I'm here. We've got the equipment and materials checklist, setting up your classroom, how to get your FA Trust certificate. So just a lot of really helpful things for educators to get set up for success. We want to make this as turnkey as possible. We recognize not all of you are necessarily experts in drone regulations and drone flight, so we try to make this as easy for you as possible. And here's what I wanted to call out. So we've got, for educators, we've got this preparing to teach section at the top. Also, at the very top of every core module, we've got teacher notes and we've got classroom activities. So the teacher notes, you're getting learning objectives like specific to the lessons in that module. Right now we're looking at the first module, kind of module 2, module 1's kind of housekeeping. And you'll also see common guidelines, misunderstandings as far as, hotspots, mix up, just a quick checklist, kind of like a cram sheet table, if you will, as you think about teaching these lessons in the classroom. Finally, and I know I'm kind of talking quickly and trying to get through all this, but finally are the classroom activities. These are really fun. So these are designed to supplement what your students are learning in the course. It's not just about passing the tests. It's not just about going through videos and theory, and it's kind of boring, right? We want to be out in the real world making money flying our drones or working for a cool company flying drones. So the classroom activities are designed to connect the dots and to provide that kind of hands-on engagement and spark that industry discussion to get students real-world ready. So this particular module, we've got 3 different classroom exercises. We let you know like what it pairs with. And then you scroll down, you've got the teacher guide, and then you've got the student activity. So in this example, this student activity, hey, you've just been hired to launch this business. Here are 3 drones. Figure out, you got the specs for them. Figure out how to register them on the FAA's website. What are all the different considerations? So that's the student guide and the teacher guide. We've got a lot more helpful information, right? Lesson objectives and materials you need, but also, more importantly, the step-by-step instructions. How do you actually teach this activity? You can't just hand the activities to the students. You have to kind of understand what you're asking them to do. There's a demo that we guide you through to kind of set the students up for success, and then we can lead you through, classroom scenario, discussion points, things like that. So we provide all the answers. This is like one of our simpler classroom exercises. We have other ones in airspace authorizations and other fun ones. So I just wanted to call that out. It's a big part of our curriculum. We've got a bunch of these. We're adding more. And I hope this screencast was helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. But thank you for watching.